Good morning, Walter. It's Ivan the Mayor. I hope you guys enjoyed my show I made yesterday. Two more days off and I work Wednesday. I get today, tomorrow off, and then Wednesday I work, right? Yeah. Coffee's brewing, so in a good, 5 minutes, I'm going to go just get my coffee, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, what are the chances you said in Rocky League? Not high. I'd rather be a movie star. I'd rather be a movie star, right? I'd rather be a movie star. Be a pro hockey athlete. It is time to start that league, though. It's tempting, but I'd rather be a movie star, right? I'd rather be a movie star. Yeah. Obviously. Bulls and Giants be crushed out. They go, yeah, they will. Yeah, man, I'm not kidding around. You do that, you're a fucking dick, man. Like you're gonna hurt us, man. You're gonna crush us. Yeah, you're gonna be crushed, obviously. Yeah, they'll be crushed. Oh yeah, they're gonna be crushed. All the legends in the league, all the NHL players that ever played pro hockey are gonna be in history are gonna be crushed. It's not just the newer generation. Like even the older generation guys who are now old, like 70, 50, 60 years old, they're gonna be crushed too. Because they'll finally hit their mind, yeah, when we were kids, we dreamed of playing in the NHL. But when Ivan was born into the world of Regent, we locked all the doors on him, and now he made his blades off his book, and now he started a pro hockey league better than the Gatekeepers NHL, obviously. The Gatekeepers NHL, obviously. As I told you, me and Vijay's family, they own everything, they control everything. The NHL, the NFL, they control it all. Ivan started a pro league better than the Gatekeepers NHL, obviously. That's why they're gonna be crushed. Yeah, you're gonna crush us, man. Like you started a pro league, a pro hockey league better than the NHL. Man. Crazier buzz, nicer facilities, better perks, higher paying work than what NHL athletes make, obviously. NHL athletes peak at about $60 million in earnings. The star players, that's what they peak at, obviously. That's like the most an NHL player. I think the most an NHL player for me, I think, was 17 million, but I could be wrong. I think they peak at about $60 million, the NHL athletes, in earnings, right, for their salary. McDavid's only making 12.5 million for his salary. He's a generational player. He peaked at 13.5 million in his previous contract. He signed an 8-year deal. Edmonton McDavid was peaking at 35 million now, but he has endorsement deals. With his endorsement deals, he's making, I don't know, close to his 20 million a season. McDavid. He has like a $5-6 million endorsement deal. So it's a lot of money, but my league can easily pay the players more than what the NHL athletes make, obviously. That's some Sarah. Yeah. And do not go any higher than 32 million for an athlete. That's enough for the players. That's enough money for the players. Do not go any higher than that. That's enough money for the players. Do not go any higher than that. Obviously, that's enough money for the players. All right, what if they want 32 million for 10 years? No, don't do that. You're going to drain the cap, and they're not worth that. You're overpaid. Pay a player 32 million for 10 years, Ivan. You overpay that player. They'll be making almost 400 million in earnings with their league revenue. They'll be pulling in close to $400. They're not worth that. Ripping you off. 340, 330, 300, 320 is good, but not like 400 million with their league revenue and earnings. That's too much. For non-generational talent, that's too much of ripping you off. That's why you gotta balance it out. And you have to create cap space to pay other players more money. That's how it works. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and get my coffee. Back in a sec. Come guys on the show. Alrighty, guys. Sorry for the long wait. Well, I supposed to get my coffee, right? Fresh coffee. Yeah. Fresh coffee tastes good. Yeah, fresh coffee always tastes good. It's the old coffee that doesn't taste that good, right? After like an hour, coffee goes bitter. It doesn't taste as good, right? Yeah. I would you have loved to play with like Aginlaw and Malkin and Jerome Jagger, Barrymore and Wayne Gretzky, Crosby, McDavid. Oh yeah, I would love to play those guys, but it's too late for those guys, right? It's too late for all those guys. No. Yeah, I wish I played pro hockey with Ivan. Played pro hockey in his league and played Team Canada with Ivan and win the gold medal with Ivan and be a part of that glory. Yeah, they'd be crushed. They'd miss out on all the fun, right? Yo, Ivan, man, you're a fucking dick, man. You do that, you're gonna crush as NHL players. I know. I know. Yeah. 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 When you want the players to get league revenue, Ivan, end of the season, the players get league revenue. So the majority of the money goes to me, but save $15 billion, $16 billion a season of the revenue. You have to calculate that, guys. And that's the money you put back into the next season. That way the league can pay the bills, pay the players, pay all the people working in the league, the hotel costs per dime, they can pay all the bills. League court managers, stat keepers, everyone gets paid. The presidents, they all get paid. You guys get paid. Board of government, you guys concerned. Yeah, the board of governors, I will give league revenue. Yeah, how much, Ivan? I'll give them as much as the players. Board of governors, you can give them maybe 10 million of league revenue. That's good enough, right? And you guys have to calculate the amount of money owed to you guys. You guys get your league revenue. All the star players get a league revenue, and the presidents get a league revenue for each team. So you have to calculate all that, and that's how those guys get paid every year. And the rest of the money goes to me. But I want you to save a good maybe 200 million for each team for operating budgets for each team. You have to calculate that too. Yeah, the rest of the money, I get like, I don't know, $4 billion check, something crazy. Yeah. That's what the players want to raise. Yeah, I mean, you're making like your $4.5 billion every 2 weeks. You're like $70 billion a season. Yeah, I know I'm making a lot more money than you guys. You got all you players are getting paid, man. The actual athletes don't make this, man. As I guarantee you, most of the star players in my league will be making their $30 billion. And a few will make 20, 25, but chances are the GMs will pay the star players at $30 million. Even two star players will pay. One guy maybe 32, the other guy maybe 27. Like, they don't make that in the NHL, but their league revenue, they're making a lot of money. If a guy makes 27 million, they get 14 million league revenue. They're making 41 million a season. Like, NHL athletes don't make that, right? They're still getting paid. Yeah, we're getting paid. Yeah, I know I'm making more than you guys, but I'm making sure you're getting paid. But you don't make this in the NHL, man. You're getting paid, all you athletes, right? You got star players. Good players are getting paid too, like they're 14, 13, 10, 11, 15. That's how much star players make in the NHL. Making a lot of money. Oh. Yeah. And you get your magazine deal. All right, do they do magazines every season? You can if you want. You can have them do a magazine every season, but no, have them do a magazine every maybe 2-3 years. Every 2 years, every like 2 years they do a magazine. They do a magazine, and they get paid for it. All right, how much you want to pay them? Pay them their the star players like 4 million for a bit more, 4 million for the magazine. That would get paid them their money. Pay them all 4 million. 2.5 to $4 million. However much money the GM wants to pay them. Yeah, pay them anywhere from 2.5 to $4 million for the magazine. And chances are the GM will pay all the star players the $4 million. That way they get paid more money, obviously. The players happy, obviously. And that's enough money for you guys. I'm not paying more money. I'm not having you guys do me right. And NHL athletes don't see this kind of money, guys. They peak at like $60 million. McDavid's generational talent, Crosby, and they only peaked at like Crosby peaked at $12 million in the NHL, man. Like, he's worth more than that, but the league can't afford to pay him any more than that. Yo, I mean, like, I'm a greedy pay guy. And I guarantee you Crosby, McDavid, and Ovechkin demanded more money. They probably demanded like 18, 17, even 20 million a season. The GM said, no, can't afford to pay that. You're going to shrink the cap. But okay, it's fine. I'll gladly make 12 million that way. Other places can get paid because they want to win championships, obviously. But they obviously demand a lot of money, but the league said no, they can't afford to pay the players $20 million in the NHL. They don't have enough cap space to pay them that. NHL has what, a $90 million cap? $100 million cap, I think. Yeah, $100 million cap. You can't afford to pay a player $20 million. You're gonna drain the cap. Because there's another star player that wants like his $10 million. That's $30 million on the cap, and the good players have to get paid too on the team. So they don't have enough cap space. Well, $200 million, you have enough cap space. That's more than enough cap space, honestly. GMs have enough cap space to pay like two star players $30 million, $27, $25 million. But some star players might even make 20, right? If there's like 4 star players in the team, chances are one of them will make 20. If they get 14 million league revenue, they made $34 million. With their magazine money, they made like $38 million, almost $40 million. Most pro athletes don't make that on average, right? So I'm beating out on average what most pro athletes in pro sports make. There is exceptions where some star players are making more than some players in my team, but on average, I'm beating out what these pro leagues are paying the players on average, right? Yeah. Got some siren? Yeah. Yeah. You want to draft Ivan? Yes, I want an SHL draft. The scouts have to scout the best players in the world in Europe, Canada, and the States. And then they draft the players, obviously. That way you get amazing. That way you get the league is just as good as the NHL if you want quality hockey, obviously. Draft the best players in the world. That way it's the best league, obviously, right? Yeah, do that. All right, how much money you want to pay the players for per dime? $130. It's a good deal for the players for the per dime. They're already paying them enough money, so whenever they're playing on in the away games, obviously they'll be staying at a hotel and they get every day that they stay at players stay at a hotel for maybe a day or two. They get $130 for those 2 days, a day, right? One day they get $130, the next day they get $130, and that's enough money for them to for the players to buy their dinner, eat their dinner, obviously. But sometimes I will pay for the players' dinner on my team, not the other teams. The other teams I'm not going to do that, but for my team, sometimes I'll pay for the dinner. Yeah, guys, keep your $130. Let's go to a restaurant. Beer's on me. I pay for it. It'll cost me like $5,000-$6,000, but it's pocket change. I'm a fucking multi-billionaire. Pocket change. Sometimes I'll pay for the players and the coaches. Obviously, yeah. Will you have parties that you want me to house live? Yes, I will. A lot of parties. Yeah, guys, the party at my house, like all the players, the coaches, and like GMs and the presidents that go to my house, they get drunk and they party at my house. Now, sometimes the other athletes will have parties at their house too, most likely. Right? Yeah, parties at my house, guys, and I party up at the star players' houses. And sometimes even the presidents or GMs might have parties at their houses. It's crazy. And sometimes I might go clubbing with the players. We get drunk at the club. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy buzz, right? Yeah. That's how VJ cries. VJ knows my book says, yeah, I mean, that book you wrote is my ticket to freedom of financial control. And that's why she cries me every night. She's crazy, that woman. She got duped by the Gates. Yeah. Why is VJ crazy like that? Because she doesn't see like she sees hell. The first reason is because she sees hell. She doesn't like seeing hell. She wants to see the light. She wants to see Ivan, and she wants to be with me. Obviously, she knows the world won't let her be with me. Obviously, until I pay. Yeah, we're never gonna let you be with VJ if you don't pay. Ivan. If you don't pay, we're never gonna let you be with Georgia. You guys are crazy people, and she knows she got duped by the game. Georgia's not stupid. She's desperate. Yeah, it's a cry for help because she got duped by the. Yeah, I got duped, Ivan. Like I'm only worth like $12 million, and she has the keys, and she's only worth $12 million. The Gates duped her, man. That's how you know they're gonna dupe you too, Ivan. If you sell, you'll be lucky to get $10-20 million off your book. Sell to the Gates, Ivan. Don't sell to them. You're gonna make a billions, man. 50 billion, something crazy off your book. Because me saying 20, 50 billion is me being humble, right? I have the fucking keys to the kingdom. I should be making at least my $50 billion, $50 billion off the $50 billion off the book, at least, even more. Off the book. I have the keys to the kingdom, right? You know. Yeah. You want financial advisors to advise the draft picks? Yes, you could do that. All the players who are drafted into the league have financial advisors advise them to be smarter with their money. Yeah. What's your suggestion? Okay, I recommend all the draft picks who are drafted into the SHL have the financial advisor tell them to rent out an apartment for the 2-3 year contract. Because most draft picks who enter into the league, they sign like 2-3 year deals. The reason why the league does that because they have to prove themselves. The ones who break out as stars in the league after the 2-3 years, they can now sign their mega like 8-10 year deal. So I recommend the draft picks rent out an apartment to save money. But with the money they're making, they can rent out a high-end apartment, like a $4,000 a month apartment. It's pocket change if you're making $750K, $800K, $1 million, $1.5 million. If you're paying $4,000 a month for your apartment, it's pocket change. It's only $50,000 a year you're paying. That way they can save more money. That's smart. I mean, yes. Then the ones who, when they sign their next big deal, obviously the draft picks, they can now buy a nice house, obviously, because they're making way more money. Give me a second, I was after this battle. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to show my SHL videos. guys. Sorry for the long wait. I have to use the bathroom. Are you serious with your money this time? Yes, I am. I'm not going to touch it. Yeah. I'm going to be serious with my money, obviously. You're serious with your money, Ivan. You should have like 4,000 saved. By the end of the year, I'll have like 4,000 saved. I'm serious. I don't touch my savings. I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm just going to get a pack of smokes and that's it. Yeah, I'll save my money, obviously. Yeah. And this month I'm going to get my hair done. It's been like 3 months, right? Yeah, end of the year I'll have long dreads, guys. But I don't have much dreads in the back of my hair. The back. But it's like the sides here, but the back. So. No, I'm not smart for the drop picks. Yes. I have the drop picks rent out an apartment. You can even have some of them roommate together. That way they save more money. They can rent out a $4,000 a month, $3,000 a month apartment. They only split $1,500 each. They can save, the drop picks can save more money. Because the drop picks starting out in the league are not making as much money. The later on guys will make league minimum to maybe $1 million. $750K to $1 million. And the middle round guys will make maybe their 1.5 to 2. And the first one guys will make like 2.5 to 3.5. Don't go any higher than 3.5 million for the draft picks, guys. Obviously, first rounder guys can get like the high end $3.5 million. So instead of wasting your money buying a cheaper house, just rent out an apartment. And once you sign the ones who break out into the league, when they get paid a lot more money, they can get a nicer, a better house when they're making more money in the league. Even the average players can get a better house. Yeah. Average players will still be signing like $45, $50 million deals for their 10-year contract. So if you're making that money, you can buy a nice house with that money. That's what I'm saying. And the star players can get the better houses because they're making a lot more money than the average and good players, obviously. Average players will peak at about that $50 million deal for 10 years. Good players will peak at maybe $130, $140 million, $150 million for their deals, which is good for the good players. Or even $160 million around there. And then the star players, you're making at least their $180 million to the $300, like $30 million. Not generational talent. Generational guys make a bit more. $350, $400 million plus the generational guys make. That's how it works. And after they sign a regular deal, they have to take pay because they can't make that money anymore. Even the good players, the good players have to take pay cuts too. Like once you're past your prime, good players can't make 14, 13, 50 million more. No. They make like 4, 5, 6 million, the good players. 3 million, that's still good for the players. And average players will make league minimum to maybe 3 million, $2 million. League minimum to maybe 2 million. That's don't peak any higher than maybe 2.5 million for the average players. That's still good money, right? For the average guys, right? Yeah. Even the average players can retire and never have to work again if they're smart with their money. They're smart with their money and they have 8, 10 million in their bank, 12 million in their bank. With 12 million in your bank, you never have to work again with that money. You just have to be smart with your money, obviously. But good players and average players don't get league revenue because they're not worth it. I'm not going to have those guys do me, right? Only the star players get league revenue. Good players and average players don't get league revenue. They're not worth my league revenue. I'm not going to have those guys do me. They're not worth league revenue. You can give them like a smaller piece of it. Yeah, I can give them maybe 300,000, but they're not worth it. They're not star players. No one's really talking about them, so I'm not going to give those guys league revenue. They're not worth it. Good players are not worth it either. Only the star players get league revenue, right? Each team will have a good 2 to 3 star players per team around there. And those guys get league revenue. The other guys don't get shit. They don't get league revenue. That's how it works. Put that in, we'll put in the rule. Holy shot, your league's gonna blow the NHL water. No, it's gonna blow the NHL water. Yeah. They're gonna ask me, how do you want to get paid? And I tell them how I want to get paid, obviously, as I mentioned earlier. Give me a bi-weekly check too. All the revenue made by all the teams, the profits, all that goes to me. And you divide it, my paycheck, I get paid every 2 weeks. But $15 billion of league money you have to save, guys. Okay, Ivan, you save $15 million of the league revenue. That way you put it into the league next season. That's how the league pays the bills. That's what I'm saying. Very important. Let me say, guys, I get some more coffee myself. Back in a sec. You guys join the show, don't you? my show. Yo, I mean, I'm not kidding around, man. You do that, you're a fucking dick, and like you're an asshole. I mean, yeah, the NHL is like, yeah, Ivan's a fucking dick, man. Like he crushed us, man. He started a pro league better in the fucking NHL. And when finally hit their minds, yeah, like my whole life I played hockey. I dreamed of playing in the NHL. We locked the doors on Ivan when he came down here with VJ, and now he started a pro league better than the NHL. Yeah, that's what the Gates women suck, because the Gates know I have the keys to the game. They know whatever business I start, I will blow their business out of the water. I start the Pro Hockey League, which is highly unlikely, blows the NHL out of the water. I start SkyStar team, and SkyStar blows Hollywood out of the water. Hollywood's the new Hollywood's Hollywood on steroids. Yeah. All the Hollywood actors are full like shit when I start SkyStar with VJ. Hypothetically speaking, if I start that Pro Hockey League, all the NHL athletes feel like shit. Even the other pro leagues are full like shit. The NFL, the NBA, all those athletes feel like shit, obviously. Because they can't compete with Ivan. Ivan is why. He's the son of God. He's why, and all these athletes feel like shit. Even the star players like Stephen Curry, LeBron James, they'll all be retired by then. They're all gonna play like shit. Yeah, man. Like with the side tension now, Ivan's the main event because I'm wired. I'm way more famous than all those guys. Don't hate me, guys. I'm saying, yeah, way more famous than all those guys. I'm fucking why. Yeah. I'm much bigger than all those guys. They're all puny and small compared to me, those guys. Puny and small compared to me. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, just you doing a press conference is glory. Yeah, me doing a press conference is glory. That's all amazing. Yeah. No, I mean, just you doing me doing a press conference is fucking glory with the star players. But the board told me, yeah, if you want to be on the press conference with the star players and everything, you have to be a star player. You want to be on the commercials with them, on the magazines with them, you have to be a star player. That's how it works. Why do we get a piece of this for the magazine? I'm like, guys, I'm giving you league revenue. Stop asking me if you're getting a piece of this. You are getting a piece of this. You're getting a piece of league revenue, guys. So I'm giving you a piece of all this. Yeah, because some ask us, like, all right, do we get a piece of the magazine profits? Guys, I'm paying you like $4 million for this. Obviously. So you are getting a piece of it. Because the $4 million for the magazine is not part of the cap. That's league revenue too. The $4 million for magazines also league revenue too. Obviously, only the player's salary or like bonuses is part of the cap. Obviously, because the board guy told me, Ivan, can you pay the player bonuses? Yes, you can pay the player bonuses, but their bonus is part of their contract. It's not excluded from the cap. Obviously. I don't want to overpay these players and have them do it, right? You don't want to pay a player $10 million bonus, paying $30 million a season. No. You can pay them the bonus, but it's part of their deal, obviously. So if you want to pay a player a $10 million bonus, you can pay a player a $10 million bonus. Then they get $22 million for that season. However the GMs want to structure the contract, they can even pay the players bonuses if they want. Obviously. Yeah. Concern? Yeah. The magazine money is part of league revenue too. Yeah, guys, the magazine money is not part of the cap. It's league revenue money. They calculate $4 million from the league revenue, and then the star athletes get their check. And at the end of the season, they get their like 10, 12, 13, 14 million of league revenue, and the generational guys get 15 to 20 million of league revenue. That's enough. I'm not going hard, and I'm not going to have these guys do these. I'm sorry. Yeah. They don't make that in the NHL. Most pro athletes don't make this. It's enough money for the players. Yeah. So you want it like the NHL with the signs. Yeah, so when a player gets traded, when a player signs a mega deal, the press will interview the player, the people take pictures, and they interview the GM and the player about signing their deal, their huge deal, more than what they make in the NHL. Yeah, you interview me when I sign my deal too. Ivan signs the deal with SHL Pro League. Obviously, it's a huge deal. Ivan gets like 85% of the earnings, something crazy. 80%, 85%, 80. How much of money you be making? I'm making about 80% or something like that of the money around there. The rest goes to the league. Yeah. How much money you have to put back in the league? I don't know, like something crazy, like $15 billion around there. I have to put back in the league. That way the league can pay the bills. Yeah. 50, but that's why I'm not raising the cap to $300. Otherwise, the league's going to. They'll have to put like $20 billion. That's crazy. They're draining more of my money, man. The players. I'm not gonna have, and they're not worth that. I'm not going to have these athletes do. I'm going to keep saying that. These athletes are not worth like 70, 50 million, 60 million a season. They're overpaid them. They're ripping you off. I'm giving you league revenue, guys. Even though you're making only 32 million max, don't forget, guys, I'm giving you magazine money and I'm giving you league revenue. Like, chances are the GMs are going to pay all the star players the high end, the 14 million of league, right, to keep them happy, right? But after 2 seasons, you got to bring it down, guys, right? They can get 14 million for 2 seasons, and you bring it down to 13 million for another maybe 2 seasons, and you bring it down to 12, you bring it down to 11, and the final season they make like 10 million of league revenue. That way you don't overpay them. They don't do. You have to bring it down, guys, right? Even the league revenue, you have to bring it down. You don't want to overpay these guys. You have to dupe you. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. How much money you want to put towards the arenas, Ivan? I'll put $1 billion towards each of the arenas. $1 billion towards each of the arenas. That way I built unheard of facilities, obviously. Yeah. A practice arena where the players practice, and the main arena where the players play the games. Yeah. And build a state-of-the-art gym in the arena where the players can work out in the off-season. An exclusive state-of-the-art gym and a nice like luxury locker room where the players have the locker room. It's a lot of work. And the league has to create all the SHL skates. And you upgrade the skates and upgrade the sticks too for better quality on performance on the ice. And that's SHL sticks, SHL helmets, the padding wear, all that stuff. The nets, it's a lot of work. Yeah. Yo, Ivan, fuck you, man. You're such a fucking dick, man. You do that, man. You're gonna crush us at athletes, I know, but you gotta deserve guys. Yeah. No, seriously, Ivan, man. You're gonna hurt us, Ivan. Yeah, they're gonna be hurt and crush us at athletes. You're gonna hurt us, Ivan. Yeah, they're gonna be hurt, obviously. Because they miss out on all the fun, right? Yeah, we miss out on all that fun and glory, man, and all that money too. They would have made way more money working in than they do in the NHL, right? Yeah. I mean, that's funny, I know. Oh, I work Wednesday. I get today off tomorrow. I work Wednesday, right? I'm chilling, man. I only got to work once a week. I get my 6 days off. But the 6 days go by so fast, right? I remember when I was off, I just finished my shift last Wednesday. Now I have like 2 days off and I work Wednesday, right? Working days is not that bad, right? It's better than fucking Coco 40. Coco 40 is crazy. That's why I quit. I ran. Too much work. The dishes there was too much work. I ran, obviously. You get to choose which team you play in. Yes, because I'm the one who paid for the league. They're gonna ask me, hey Ivan, because you paid for the league, what team do you want to play in? I'm like, I want to play in my hometown, Vancouver. Vancouver, Ivan, yeah, Vancouver is where I want to play. Obviously, and the league main office will be in Vancouver. That way I can talk with the board of the people, right? Hey Ivan, where do you want the main office to be? Okay, the main office will be in Vancouver because I live in Vancouver. I'll have it in Vancouver. The main league office will be in Vancouver, and I'm gonna be playing in my home team, my home Vancouver team. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be competing with the Vancouver Canucks. Yes, guys, fuck the NHL. Yeah, I'll be competing with the NHL, obviously. the Vancouver Canucks, right? SHL competing with the NHL Vancouver Canucks. You know, yeah. You have to hire director of player personnel, scouts. SHL scouts have to get paid too. How much you want to pay? Pay the SHL scouts like 100K, $120,000. That's a good paycheck for those guys, right? And the director of player personnel, you can pay that guy maybe 400K. That's a good paycheck for those guys. Yeah, and they're responsible for scouting the players, the best hockey players in the world, in Canada, the States, and Europe, and other places. And they draft the best players in my draft. Obviously, that's how it works. Yeah. Sarah. That's why his entourage is going to be crushed because they're going to wish. I wish I was born in this generation, obviously, and I was drafted in Ivan's Pro League instead of being drafted in the Gatekeepers NHL. Ivan's Pro League blows the NHL. Right? Blows the NHL water. That's why you're like shit. Yeah, you're a fucking dick, man. You do that, you're going to crush us, man. Yeah, I know. I know. The fans will be much crazier in my league than they even are in the NHL. Crazy. And all my games, yeah, I mean, all your games are going to sell out. They're all going to sell out, all my games. Obviously, all the team games will sell out. Don't even tell me, yeah, Ivan, all the games, all the teams in the States and Canada all sold out, Ivan. They're packed with like 20,000 crazy fans, man. It's crazy. Yeah. Obviously. And the press is much crazier in my league than they even are in the NHL. The star players, like the press is like bombarding them. Hey, like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Patrick. Assuming the player's name is Patrick. I'm saying, how does it feel? You know what I'm saying, losing this game, and it's crazy, and yeah, man. And the photographers take pictures. Yeah, it's crazy with the NHL. That's what the NHL is going to crush. Yeah, you're going to crush it, but we miss on all that fun, man. With the side tension, we're not as famous as the NHL athletes are a lot more famous than the NHL athletes, obviously. More famous than the NFL athletes. The SHL athletes, right? Yeah, it's crazy. More famous than the NBA athletes. LeBron James and Stephen Curry and all those guys are fucking famous players, man. The players in Monaco will be more famous than those guys. That's why they're all gonna feel like shit because there's side tension. Yeah, with the side tension on those players, right? That's why the NFL and the NBA and MLB and NHL will go into a panic. The leagues because they can't compete with me because I have the keys to the kingdom. Obviously, they don't have the keys. Those guys. Well, I have the keys to the kingdom. Obviously, but the players in my league don't get endorsement deals because I do not sell to the gatekeepers, and there is no news. There is no news media outlet covering it because I didn't sell to the gates. Each team has a private press who covers the news for each team. That's how it works. When they interview the players, they film it and they write down the news on the website. The press write down all the news and everything on the website. Obviously, when players sign contracts, they write down the news. What player might get traded, they write down the news for each team. And you have the main SHL press too. And the sport anchors will be talking about the trades, the trade deadlines, players getting traded, players extending, who's the best player in the league, that kind of stuff. Sport anchors are going to be talking about all that, obviously. Obviously, right? Something crazy. Blows the NHL water. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Now going back to the CFL, I'll talk for maybe like, I don't know, 8 minutes, I'm done here. Yeah. I do understand why the CFL does this. I do because the Canadian players, even though they're amazing players, are a bit wrong the way they play. And the CFL doesn't think it's good enough quality football to sell to people of Canada. That's why they're not stars. And they have investments. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They have. They see it as risky. Yeah, I mean, it's not good enough. not good enough, high value, entertaining football. That's why we bring up the American guys. That's why they do that. But the CFL, because the CFL's doing this, they grew their league in a very irregular way, whereby all their legends are players who never dreamed of playing in their league. So it's very weird and irregular in the way they grew the league. All the legends are legends in the league by default. So it's a very weird way of growing a league and marketing your legends CFL. That's why you find it weird, obviously. And all the legends are not draft picks. CFL didn't grow their league with draft picks. They grew their league with guys from different countries they just bring up here, who they put on negotiations. They're not draft picks. That's always what I found weird about it, obviously. I always found it weird. I'm like, yeah, like, the CFL drafts the best players, but they're not stars. They just bring up all these American guys and they market them to people can. They hope the league grows. But the people can't know nothing about these guys, obviously. I always found it weird. And these are the guys who have the spotlight up here, and they're not draft picks. They're just guys CFL brings up here from a different country. It's weird. It's an irregular way of growing pro league, obviously. I'm sorry, man. We have to do that, man. The Canadian kids are not. We don't like the Canadian kids. They're not good enough, man. We have to. That's why we have to go with the American guys. That's why the CFL does that. Yeah. Yeah. Why? How do you know the Canadian kids are good enough? Because they beat Team USA. Team Canada beat Team USA, man. Yeah, best Canadian I think it was what? Best Canadian U19 players and the best American U19 players. Canada beat Team USA pretty bad, man. Like, it was like 41, like 26, Canada beat Team USA. And Japan beat your Team USA too, guys. I'm not lying. I'll say, you know, the Japanese football players are amazing football players. They beat Team USA. All you players playing our game, yeah, Ivan, man, the Japanese they're amazing football players. They're number 3 after our Canadians, almost as good as our Canadians, man. They're fucking amazing players, the Japanese. They beat Team USA. Yeah, man. That's like no CFL, the Canadian players are talented, man. They beat Team USA, man. I'm not lying. In the IFF Junior World Championships, they beat Team USA, Team Canada. And I saw the game. The American players looked a little more alike in the way they played, but the Canadian players were also putting on a show. They looked a bit more raw, but they still beat Team USA, right? That's how you know the Canadian players are talented CFL. You're just too blind to see it. And the NFL's interested in a lot of your draft pick CFL. Quite a bit of your draft picks. Who you draft. That's how you know the Canadian players are talented. The fact that the NFL's interested in some of the Canadian players, that's how you know they're talented players. They're not as talented as American guys. I get that CFL, but they're talented enough to put on good quality football people can. Ivan, man, it's not. I know it's not like the NFL. It's not NFL level. I get that, but the question the CFL has to ask themselves: is it good enough for the people of Canada? That's what you have to ask yourself. Is it good enough for the Canadians? Even if the quality dips a little bit, if it's good enough for the Canadians, then your league makes more money. It worked out for the good. But Ivan, we're not going to do that. The Canadian kids are not good enough. We don't like them. Yeah, we like the American kids. Yeah, you like the American kids more. Obviously, the CFL, right? They like the American kids more than Canadian kids, the CFL. Yeah. 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 So I have you guys already know my business marketing strategy, right? I would pitch this to the league, and the league's like, holy shit, Ivan, this could work. They will tell me, Ivan, you're the smartest commissioner candidate we ever interviewed, Ivan. Like, you blew our minds away. But they will still, I even know we're not going to do that, man. The Canadian kids are not good enough because they don't trust the Canadian kids. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you don't do this, guys, I'm stepping down. I don't want to be civil commissioner. I can't find any other way to boost this thing to like $500 million because you've tried everything you could with these amazing American players you bring up here, and it's not working. Fans are not resonating with your American star players, or they just don't care about Canadian football. That's my other answer. One of those answers is obviously true. Either they just don't care about Canadian football, which could be true. That could be the reason why the CFL is struggling with growth. Or there is a little bit of a bigger market for it. But you guys will never be the NHL, but there is a little bit of a bigger market for it, but it's with your Canadian star players. But you guys don't think they're obviously good enough. That's why, yeah, they're not good enough, Ivan. The Canadian kids are good enough. We can't have them shine up here, Ivan. They're not talented enough. Yeah. That's why CFL will never get rid of it. Never get rid of it. The bias has been passed down for generations. Obviously. Yeah. 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 Our CFL game is very entertaining. Oh yeah, it's high quality. It's almost as good as the NFL, man. Obviously, because the undrafted players who did not make the NFL are almost as good as the best American players in the NFL in most cases. So that's why when you watch the games, it's almost as good as the NFL. But it's not NFL quality, but it's almost as good as the NFL. And yet people in Canada still don't care, obviously, right? They don't care about the games. So obviously it's not about the quality of what. It's not about the quality of the game. It's something else, honestly. Fans of Canada just don't care about Canadian football. That's probably the reason why at least struggling with growth. Or they're not resonating with your American star players anymore because they don't know anything about these guys, CFL. How do you expect the people of Canada to be invested in players playing in your league they know nothing about? They're just guys you bring up here from a different country. They don't know anything about these guys when you market them. Like, they don't know anything about these guys. That's probably why they don't really care. Because they don't know anything about these American guys. Whereas the Canadian players are a bit more known. They're a bit more known talent. Like quite a bit of people in Canada know they got drafted. Some of the university students are familiar with these players. They're more known talent. Whereas the American guys, they don't know anything about these guys when you bring them up here. Yeah. Some Sarah? I hope league grows. I could be wrong, right? Maybe the American talent is the way to go. Anyways, guys, the Zeros Vibe guys on the show. I'm signing out. Peace. I'm going to go to the store, get my small, enjoy the show with you guys. Peace out, guys. Don't hate me, guys. Peace.